Hello everyone, and welcome back to another anime episode review. I am the Rat, and this is The Rat's Nest. I'm joined as always by Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hello there.
We are back with Grasshopper Kaisen. That was a lame joke. I'm sorry. I thought that was going to be funnier.
We're recording this kind of late.
That really wasn't funny. That really wasn't funny at all. I don't know why I'm a little tired, but it's all good because we got Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, technically Episode 8.
Yeah, this is Episode 32
Incident.
on where I'm at. Like 32 total. Yep, the Shibuya Incident.
Well, anime that counted episode totals like that are gay.
So true.
This was a good episode.
It was a good episode with a couple of hiccups that I do kind of want to discuss. I think it's important to talk about it because there's been some online discussion about it. Even there's a person I'm going to be watching this with, like an online friend. They're waiting till the season's all the way done, and they said that they heard some discourse about it just online, which is natural even if you mute all the keywords. So I'll still say it was a good episode. It was a good episode. There's some stuff to talk about later on.
Absolutely. And also, before we get any further, I want to clarify this is a manga spoiler-free review. Both Kyle and I have read the manga, but we won't be talking about it. We're just talking about the episode and its merits. So
I think with that we can get right into it.
That's how we do it.
Shall we just hop right into it?
Absolutely, we shall.
And for this one, our main host here, he's a bit shmee. He's a bit tired, so I'm gonna lead the discussion.
Absolutely. That sounds so awesome right now, bro. I ain't even finna lie none, dog. For real. Like, you feeling me right now, dude? Like, for real? Like, like, for real, though?
So we start the episode off with Gojo making his way in and descending the train station. We get the funny scene where he's like, oh, excuse me, he starts walking on air, and then he's floating on air, and he looks down.
I would step on that girl as well.
You mean step over? He didn't really step on.
Dang, that's true.
Over. And then also before the OP, we get a second scene with we get a scene introducing properly, unfortunately, Ui with Mei
that
and
is
talking with Yuji.
Extremely unfortunate. We see a couple of times Ui throughout this episode. I'm not a fan. Of Ui.
Stuff.
I'm not a fan of Ui.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a Mushoku Tensei fan. That's coming from a Mushoku Tensei fan.
Yeah. Let's just hit the nail on the head here and say Sister Complex is a weird archetype, especially with how Greg has framed it in the episode.
It's not even so much I don't care about him.
No, that too.
He's just annoying.
I think, as of this episode, it's safe to conclude this is just a character that I feel like doesn't really add much of value. It kind of detracts from Mei in a way, but whatever. Greg, this is Greg's story. We're just living in it.
Greg maybe burnt a little bit. Maybe this was on the stovetop for a little too long.
Yeah, and so then before the OP, we also get a little scene of kind of like I like this little kind of like rematch, kind of like smack talk with Gojo and Jogo, where he says, or I think Jogo first says, have you given thought to the first excuse you'll have when you'll lose? And Gojo's like, funny, I could say the same thing.
Based. Gojo's never going to lose. He's the strongest.
Yeah, so then after the OP plays, funny good OP, we get to the main content of this episode. So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but the gist of the situation is there is a subway station. I forget the name that they're at. I don't want to even try to pronounce it because I'm going to butcher it. And there's 5 different levels to it. And there's been 2 veils, right? Is that what the veils that have been cast within it? So there is a veil around B5, and there is a veil somewhere around the B1, B2 level. And what they're seeing is that there are some transformed humans and cursed spirits in there that are funneling everyone down into the B5 area where they can't escape. And so at one point, Yuji asks if there's a patch face here because he's looking for Mahito. And when Mei sends her crows down to like search, they get killed by something. She goes, "Oh, it's pretty strong sorcerer, or like something pretty strong's down there. There's a good chance that it's the guy that you're looking for." Then Yuji's eyes kind of like go small.
Yeah. Bro's a little bit angry. Bro's a tiny bit angry about it. Bro's a little angry.
Yeah. So here I'm looking to see. So what they decide to do is, if I remember right, Mei and Uyui go on ahead to. Oh no, sorry. Let me rephrase. So what they decide to do is there's two main threats right now that they can deal with. There is the transformed humans, and there's like this cursed spirit. And Mei says, "Yuji, I doubt that you want to go kill these transformed humans. We'll leave the strong cursed spirit to you and take them down to try to get rid of the veil." And one interesting thing is, and I like this rule where when they're talking about it, they'd say like, "Why wouldn't the person who cast the veil stay inside the veil?" And they say that, with remaining outside the veil, there's that chance that not chance. Sorry, I'm kind of slipping my wording too. If you cast a veil and you remain outside, it powers up the veil, but at the cost of you're putting yourself at risk because you're not in the protection of the veil.
Mm-hmm. Kind of tying back into heavenly restrictions and all that.
I love that concept.
You have the good whatever in Jujutsu Kaisen with the cursed energy system. It's a very, very good system.
I love that risk reward of you in this instance you could cast that veil, but it's at the risk of if you're outside of it you strengthen it, but you put yourself at risk because you're not within its protection. It's a cool rule. It's
very, very interesting.
Yeah. So then after that we get to the main fight of this episode where Yuji walks downstairs and he gets into an encounter with Brandon. Are you clever? Are you clever? Can you? Do you know what this one is?
This fight, I don't know if it's because I am for some reason exhausted this evening. The bit grew old.
Look, I can say this
that's not really a fair comparison. I'm gonna have to but
no, I'll say this. As someone who watched it earlier in the day, who wasn't as tired, I kind of agree. The bit grew old.
I mean, like
this.
He's a funny little critter, right? The funny little grasshopper guy. I like Yuji. I like watching Yuji do his stuff. The purpose of Grasshopper is to show, Yuji can handle his own, right? Like
Yuji's
these quote unquote fodder curse spirits, they don't matter to him anymore. So this basically is freeing up Yuji to go after curse users and curse spirits, and the more advanced people. That's the purpose of Grasshopper here. And it serves its purpose very well. It doesn't eat up any animation budget, which is what people are talking about. We get to see Yuji.
Yeah.
We get to see how strong he is, and by the end of it, I was like, he's a funny little guy. He is a funny little guy. I won't say it. Yeah, he's a funny little guy. I would kill him too.
Yeah, I will say one thing I do like in series is when it's natural to show growth, and just having a fight like this it's inoffensive to demonstrate that they're at a stronger level. Because even after the fight, Mei even says like Yuji, I mean, like that was a pretty decently strong cursed spirit that you took down there by yourself. She's like, you've grown a lot stronger, and Yuji's just kind of like, yeah, cool. And then fucking Yuji's like, oh, my sister said something to you. She's praising you. You should accept it. But that it's after the fight. Getting back into the fight itself, just in the manga, I can say this. But I never really thought too much about it. It was a fight I always kind of forgot about. But in this one,
I completely forgot about it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I was expecting other stuff, and I saw this like, oh, okay, we're doing this. We're doing this real quick. The main issue that everyone has, and I do want to make my comment on this, is the animation of like how they adapted the fight the two main things are, and I'm trying to find where I have the episode pulled up. There's the sequence of them where Yuji knocks him through a wall, and then it's them fighting by jumping through walls back and forth, and it was very oddly portrayed. From what I remember,
by jumping through walls.
No, like let me give me a second. Let me find it. I don't want to take too much time.
So I've seen some discourse over this because I saw the thing you sent me on Twitter, and I kind of looked, and while watching the episode, I was watching out for, okay, there's something people are talking. I got to the fight, I was like, okay, yeah, slideshow, right, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, not even just that. Let me find the thing.
Like, personally, I think it's fine. Like, is it the best quality ever? No. Is it like great? No. Like, at the same time, I mean, look at what we got with Mechamaru versus Mahito, right? A fight that I guess is like more important than this one, right?
Okay, I got it. So about halfway into the episode, there's a sequence where they're not jumping through walls, and I can explain why it's so weird as I'm watching it. So the grasshopper spirit, I was about to say devil, the grasshopper spirit looks behind him to find Yuji. Can't find Yuji. Okay, so he walks down, vanishes, and then he kicks through a wall, bounces off, starts fighting Yuji. They start swinging at each other. He punches through a wall. It's in the dark. They're still running around.
It's in the dark?
He kicks back through the wall again.
Did I fall asleep? Like, I don't remember any of that.
No, so the main, it's around like for those who want to see it, like the 12-minute mark. I'm on Crunchyroll here. So the main thing that bothered me with it was I did, when I first saw it, I did kind of get confused as to what was happening. And I also thought it was very weird how there were what it looked like moments where characters weren't like moving forward or backward, yet the camera looked like it was sort of pushing them down the hallway, like they were just kind of sliding along the floor. That's what it looked like.
Dude, I must have fallen asleep there. I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a
so weird.
It's only like, this one's like 20 seconds, but I'm watching it, this one in particular just bothered me in a weird way. Because he kicks through the wall 3 separate occasions, and they're just in this hallway. It's weird.
I know,
like
they're in the hallway, but
along.
like I remember him kicking through a wall, but I never remember them leaving the hallway. Dude, I don't know.
He kicks through.
Maybe I'm on something, bro.
Brandon, you are a bit on something right now.
Maybe the cheeseburger I got from my college cafeteria was laced with something.
And so then after this is the main reason of discourse that I want to talk about. Where after that, Yuji walks up and he goes, "Oh, you want to fight fist to fist, eh? Well, you're 2 against my 4." And then they get into a JoJo Stand Barrage ghosting battle.
Funny part 1 slideshow.
It is okay. Look, when I talk about why I love Jujutsu Kaisen fights, barrage clashes are not, especially from the anime, are not like the big thing. That barrage clashes are like Dragon Ball, Naruto, like that. It's in that territory. It was very weirdly done here, and the ghosting effect is very. I heard why they do it. There's like some law in Japan where they have to put the ghosting effect before they broadcast it. It still looks weird. I still don't like the 30 seconds of it almost. It's, again, the fight itself's inoffensive. I just wanted to bring up those 2 issues I had with it. I don't like them like moving along the hallway back and forth for that little bit, and I wasn't a fan of like the barrage section.
I genuinely don't remember that first thing. And like with the barrage section, it affects me nothing at all. That's my genuine opinion on it. Because
the only defense that and not to like no big spoilers here. There's bigger, better stuff to come, and
maybe when there's bigger fights than like the second one from an arc.
Yeah, but I still don't think it's good. Like the only thing I could say about it is, yeah, they're trying to save their budget. But still, it's just that I don't find that to be a very viable excuse. Like it still looks meh. That's all I have to say on the fight itself. Like the fight itself, just like the content itself, where he fights the grasshopper. Like just looking at it content wise, it's fine. I just don't like the adaptation of the fight.
That's fair. Grasshopper's a funny enough guy. I like how the fight
Yeah.
says like, "Oh yeah, Yuji, you're strong enough to fight on the tiers with these guys."
The one thing I do
cowboy.
the one thing I do want to highlight that I was a big fan of at the end is Yuji was fighting him, and he's like, okay, this guy doesn't have any tricks left. But even when he went into it like not expecting any tricks and he pulled one, it's the fact that Yuji was still like quick enough with that fast reaction time and able to detect it and still overcame it. Like it
Like,
does
as the
good show
narrator
Yuji's
says,
growth.
sure he had a trick, but the strength difference was too much that it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
No,
no,
like
that's cool. That's cool.
That was a cool way to end the fight. And then afterward, also we get a description of two different things with Lokai. Man, if I had a nickel for every time we got some backstory about bugs this episode.
No freaking way.
Yeah. And so then after that they're running through, and then we get a little scene of Mahito after the fight, and he's like, "Oh man! Oh, also, sorry. Important thing to realize: when he was fighting the Grasshopper Devil, he saw a little nail in the ground.
Oh yeah,
And
he destroyed it, and
yeah.
it destroyed the first domain. I think it was
Domain?
the first domain. Veil. He
Veil.
destroyed the first veil. Sorry, my my Seattleian accent was coming out there a little bit.
Yeah. So
Everyone
then we
knows
see.
as I get more tired, I get more of my Seattleian accent.
So yeah, they figure out like, okay, well, now they know that there are these things that they should be on the lookout for within the boundaries of Bales. You got me saying it too.
Well, veil's how you
Veils.
say it. Veils.
And then we see a little, like, only like 10 seconds, I think. It's just Mahito just whoop, wandering off, just getting, oh, I want to fight them too, but I got a job to do. And then now we get into where for this episode's budget, they divvied it 70-30, and this is where we got the 70.
And this is where we got the 30.
No.
But that was a joke, Kyle. Have you ever heard of a joke before?
Anyway, we get into
I'm so sorry.
the
Kyle.
main
I didn't
portion
mean to hurt
of-
you.
You didn't hurt. It's fine. We get into the most important part of it. I would say the most important part of the episode,
Yeah.
with the start of Jogo, Hanami, and Chozo versus Gojo. And in the midst of their fight back and forth, we get a little bit of context as to they thought far ahead about this. Like, I like how JJK handles overpowered characters, because everyone who's like in this context, when they're trying to fight Gojo, they have a good, like, they had a plan before they walked in. You can't just walk up to someone like Gojo and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna beat you with no plan. No, you have to plan ahead, and they did. They had a very good plan set up.
No, absolutely. I really enjoyed how they planned around him here, where they, were like, okay, how can we even fight this guy, right? And so
Yeah.
we kind of get to see them. They're a little bit of nuisances, right? They trap some people down and they kill some people, yada yada yada, as you
That
do.
was, like,
But they
for
can't
me,
touch him.
Even knowing that like they were gonna do it's so sad in stuff like this where innocents just kind of get heartlessly dragged. Like, just when Jogo's like, all right, time to start, he just for no reason lit up 4 people just
No, 'cause
at
it's
the start
funny.
of the fight. It's funny.
Because that's really funny. Like the dude
So,
who was
the-
trying to riz up that girl, and Jogo said, get back here. Nah,
He kind of did, as he said, no running away. So the two big things here that I want to address are how they planned to limit Jogo's strength with the masses there, and the way in which they're actually approaching the fight with Gojo, because we get another new piece of like cursed spirit like application. So the first thing is how they explain Gojo. Gojo is a person of, he can fight best when he's alone, because when he's alone, he doesn't have to worry about anyone else. He can go all out, and that's what makes him terrifying. And so they plan around that by ensnaring all these people and luring him into an arena where he can't just leave. You know, Hanami blocks this exit with the roots. They all flood the narrow pathway that he's on with people, and then they begin fighting him. And there's a lot of innocents who are just kind of like tossed to death on that
Because
one.
here they're like, okay, Gojo can't use blue to get around to increase his mobility, because if he did that, he'd hurdle and kill people.
He'd kill a lot of people
because he can't control its how powerful it is. He can't use red because it would be at least 2 times as strong as blue. He can't do that. He'd kill people. And they said they didn't even address purple. Obviously, he can't use purple here.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
And he can't use his domain because they were like, look, because he uses his domain, he's going to catch people inside of it. But
he would like scrunch everyone, because when the domain expands outward, it would squish people between the domain moving out and the veil that they've put around. Like that, he would like crush people with it, and he's not going to like intentionally use the domain on all like that. That's what they're like banking on.
Yeah,
because
with the squishing, what it was is Geto was like, you know, oh, we're big vibing here, we're chilling. But like, even if he runs the fade and gets y'all like, where he's like, "Ayo, y'all in here, we're chilling. Ayo, woo, yeah, we're vibing, yippee." And it's just them and his domain, and he somehow has a way to exclude everyone else. Then the domain's barrier.
Brandon, I've lost track of what you're saying. I lost track of what you were saying.
Bro, I lost track of what I was saying, dude. We're literally twinning right now. We're literally twinning right now.
Let me drive the boat. Let me drive the boat.
Let me drive the boat, dude.
They're talking about it, and Geto says there's a 99% chance that he's not going to use his domain. Like that just would not work given the context of the fight and hurting all those people. And secondly, even without that, right? They plan on, okay, because his maximum offensive capabilities are limited, he's going to focus on defense. And they find a way around that through, I forget how he explains where it first came about, but I think he teaches the spirits what domain amplification is. And so basically, I'm going to word it like this. Instead of expanding your domain, domain expansion, instead of using domain expansion,
like Jujutsu Kaisen,
having it be, that's so true. Instead of like externalizing your domain, you sort of internalize it and shroud your body in it. Because as we know, domains, if domain is used on you, it cancels out most other abilities in the domain. And so what they do is they use they use domain amplification. Sorry, I'm trying to remember their names. Jogo and Hanami specifically, to when they go to hit Gojo, it can bypass his infinity because it's a domain.
Yeah. So that allows them to hit him, which is good. Because hitting your opponent is phase 1 of beating them, which they kind of want to do a little bit. Sorry, I don't want to spoil anything. They kind of want to beat him.
Spoilers, they kind of want to beat the guy that they plan on beating.
That's crazy. They kind of want to beat the guy they're jumping. Jump Kaisen, back at it again, bro.
Jump Kaisen.
Jump Kaisen. And that's pretty much the episode, right?
Yeah.
At
sorry
the end,
for
Gojo's
the lack
like,
of... Oh, sorry.
I'm going to say Gojo's at the end like, "Ayo, catch this fade, bro, for real. And he's like, "You're stupid," at Jogo. And like, that's the end of the episode.
Sorry for it not being the best of quality. But that was the episode. All in all, was a good episode. I'm very excited to see what comes. I'm happy that if any episode had to take a bullet, I'm happy it's this one for the most part. Like JJK season 1 had really good animation, right? I mean, that's just That's just true. A lot of its fight scenes, even some of the lesser ones, I don't recall ever having, back in like season 1 where there was like some I guess you can call them throwaway fights. I don't remember them doing anything like this. Like with the grasshopper spirit. I don't remember many of those. So I still don't find that I don't find that to be a good excuse, but like I can at least understand why it was the way that it was. And at least they had their priorities straight. They did focus on the most interesting part of the episode, and they did a phenomenal job with that. So that much I'm thankful for. I'm happy seeing the start of all this, where they start filtering in the people, and how they actually work out a way in which they could fight him. And in this episode, they also say, as the last like bit of information, like new information to bring up here, Geto says, "I just need you to keep him busy for 20 minutes, then I'll make my entrance."
I think that I need to kiss Mei Mei. Because, like, she's pretty hot. You following?
Well, if you're this far into the episode, obviously there's something you like.
No freaking way.
So please make sure to. What is the order? I'm trying to learn.
Please make sure
here.
to leave a like.
Leave a like.
Subscribe.
And
leave a comment.
Telling us
you thought about the episode.
You thought about the episode. Yeah.
And then
you
can put like some extra interjection if you want. Just to kind of maybe make a funny last comment or whatever. And then you go, thank you all for watching.
Yeah, thank you all for watching.
We hope that you enjoyed.
We hope that you enjoyed.
And we will see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.